So, have you ever looked at a friendship that's been exactly the same for years and then bam, it suddenly ignites into something completely different? It's a phenomenon that honestly feels like pure magic. But what if there's an actual architecture behind it? Today in this explainer, we're diving deep into the fascinating intersection of human psychology and cosmic timing. We're going to look at exactly how the universe maps out our social circles and break down the undeniable, science-backed signs that a friendship is evolving into love. It's a pretty massive question, right? Are your friendships actually written in the stars? I mean, it's so easy to look at our changing relationships and just chalk it all up to a random chance. But by bridging the esoteric wisdom of astrology with the deeply relatable everyday reality of human psychology, we can actually start to see a clear pattern. Because our social bonds aren't just random accidents. They're complex ecosystems influenced by timing, by our own minds, and yeah, perhaps even the cosmos itself.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Section 1, the House of Friends. Let's lay down the astrological foundations of our bonds.
So in Vedic astrology, our social connections are governed by the 11th house. This is the realm of friends, associations, and desires. It's essentially our social playground. But here is where it gets super fascinating. Astrologically, it's positioned as the 6th house from the 6th house. So think of it as, actually, scratch that. It's more like a giant house of mirrors. It reflects these complex karmic surprises, hidden perils, and intensely tests the sheer strength of our community ties. And the analysis by astrological expert Barry Rosen in the Astrological magazine brilliantly illustrates this exact dynamic. He dives into the secret powers of the 11th house, pointing out that while this house brings the absolute joy of fulfilled desires, it also holds the really heavy karma of how we bond with others. It's constantly asking us, can we actually realize our dreams with our peers, or are we just going to face constant social friction? Let's move to section 2 and see how this builds planetary impact on connection. Now, what's really interesting here is how different celestial placements dictate our community interactions in totally different ways. Like, if you have the sun in this house, you might clash over your ego versus the collective good. The moon, well, that brings a beautiful, deep heart connection, but it definitely leaves you open to emotional wounds. Mars makes you fiercely passionate, though maybe a little too competitive at game night, right? And Saturn is the ultimate taskmaster. It demands hard work and delivers social success only after a really long journey of learning how to cooperate. So the crucial point is what happens when Venus steps into this space. When Venus sits in the 11th house, it absolutely excels at relationship skills. It graces a person with devotion, charm, and this profound desire for harmony within friendships. And this is the perfect pivot point for us, because this deeply loving, harmonious energy in the house of friends, that is exactly what sets the stage for a platonic bond to transform into a romantic one. Which brings us to section 3, when friendship evolves. We're going to zoom in from the macrocosmic universe right down into the intimate reality of human behavior. If you've ever felt a friendship shifting and wondered, wait, am I just imagining things? You are absolutely not alone. A 2022 meta-analysis of nearly 1,900 people, cited by Marriage.com, reveals a staggering statistic. About 2/3 of romantic couples actually began as friends. 2/3! This completely proves that a friend's first foundation isn't just some cute movie trope, it is a highly common and honestly preferred way for real relationships to start. The foundation of trust and shared inside jokes is already there, just waiting to deepen. So let's get into the specifics in section 4, subtle signs of love. Let's get grounded and look at the actual evidence. Psychologists have identified several subtle behavioral cues that scream a relationship is transitioning. First up, we have communication shifts. The way you talk to each other fundamentally changes. A simple daily text turns into chatting literally from morning until night. Standard catch-ups become these 2-hour intense conversations about everything and absolutely nothing. Suddenly, when something happens in your day, they are the very first person you need to tell. And even the casual bro or dude quietly softens into actual terms of endearment. Next, we move to physical cues and closeness. Research published in the journal Social Behavior and Personality shows that nonverbal cues massively influence relationship formation by increasing feelings of warmth. You'll notice evolving body language, like instinctively leaning closer to them. In group settings, you both constantly try to find ways to just step aside and be alone. Platonically innocent touches start to linger just a second longer. And the eye contact? It becomes intense, prolonged, electric.
But hey, it's not all easy. Then come the emotional shifts. This is where things get super confusing. You might experience this sudden, completely unexplainable jealousy when they talk about an ex. Because of this, their behavior might turn hot and cold, getting irritated when you mention a crush, then completely cheerful when the subject changes. You'll also notice a deep mutual vulnerability, sharing secrets you've never told anyone else. And ironically, despite knowing them for years, a newfound air of shyness or awkwardness suddenly pops up out of nowhere.
Finally, we look for external confirmations. This is where the universe itself seems to step in. Suddenly, for the very first time in your friendship, you are both single at the exact same time. The timing perfectly aligns. Your mutual friends start exchanging those knowing looks or directly teasing you about acting like a couple, and inevitably, the line is crossed into undeniable flirting, or they actually ask you out on a proper one-on-one date. Outside forces and internal timing just completely converge.
Section 5. Cosmic Resets and Prosperity.
Speaking of perfect timing converging, let's bring this back to the broader concept of celestial timing. According to Vedic science, the world is always in motion with 6 groups of kinetic energies, intersecting chaotically. But during a really powerful period known as Akshaya Tritiya, something magical happens. These energies align so perfectly that their combined amplitude hits almost zero. Think of it like noise-canceling headphones for the universe. All that chaotic background static suddenly goes completely silent.
This incredible alignment creates what is known as Panar Pravartanam. This is a literal cosmic reset. It creates this natural opening in the universe for living organisms to hop onto a highly positive wave. If you initiate something during this window, the wave naturally pushes you along your desired path with minimal effort. It is widely considered one of nature's absolute greatest gifts for starting new, auspicious paths, maybe even a brand new phase of a relationship.
So what should you actually do when the universe hits the reset button? Well, the astrological e-magazine advises taking bold initiatives. You can seek material prosperity, making it a highly favored time for weddings or long-term investments. Or you can seek spiritual prosperity, taking time for deep meditation, or finally giving up that negative habit you've been struggling with. The key takeaway is that actions taken right now carry a tremendous, undecaying momentum. Whether we are talking about the slow, beautiful evolution of a best friend into a partner, or the grand cosmic alignment of the 11th house, the core message of this analysis is clear. Timing and connection are deeply, inextricably intertwined. So take a moment to look at your own inner circle. The next time you feel a sudden, unexplainable spark with a friend, ask yourself, is it just chemistry? Or has the universe finally given you a green light?